Hello everyone. Today I've got an interesting new finding related to management styles. There are thought to be two different leadership styles, dominant and communal. To describe them quickly, dominant is a more assertive, forceful position where you command your subordinates to do things, whereas communal is a little more understanding and a little more interpersonal, where you talk things out with your subordinates. Previous research has shown that white men are thought to be effective leaders when they take that dominant position, whereas white women and black men are thought to be better leaders when they take that communal position. Now, this new study, performed by Robert Livingston of Northwestern University, along with Ashley Shelby Rosette of Duke University, decided to take a look at black women and where they fall into this break. I mean, it would be understandable that since black men and white women fall into the communal leadership style category when they're viewed as an effective leader, that black women would as well. But what the study actually found is that black women operate in the same space as white men, that is, the more dominant, assertive leadership style. The way the study was conducted was people were brought in and they were shown samples where a CEO of either white or black or male or female would be dealing with a subordinate who wasn't performing their job well, and then they were asked to they would be given a certain style, either a dominant or a communal leadership style, and then the participants would be asked whether or not they did a good job, whether they were a good leader, questions like that, and they found that white men and black women were thought of as better leaders when they took up that dominant style, which is just a fascinating finding, which really goes against what conventional wisdom would have told you. And it's actually a very interesting comment on race and gender dynamics at that level. It's important to note, and they note this themselves, the researchers, I should say, that this doesn't mean there is no sort of discrimination or racial discrimination in the workplace. This is just a study to see how people are perceived in that leadership role, that CEO role specifically, was what they tested for in that study, and whether or not race affects how their leadership styles are deemed good or bad. It still doesn't mean it's any easier for black women to reach that role, but it does mean that once they reach that role, there's a little more in the way of expectations that they'll be strong, assertive people, much in the way white men are assumed to be that way. That's really all there is to this study. It's an interesting finding, and I hope you found it interesting. Love science.